I want to show you this $1 million worth of game interview Lil Durk did with Wallo and Gilly 6 months before his blood brother D-Thang died, and an emotional Wallo opening up about how he forgave the man that killed his brother and how he played to Lil Durk and his entourage not to let the unquenchable thirst for revenge consume them.
Cause some of y'all in this room, y'all might not see next year. Y'all might not see next week. And I know you niggas got no dads out here. And I'ma say some shit that, like, this is documented. I forgave my brother's killer. And I'm saying it to say this. Killed my brother. My brother died in my grandma's arms. They shot my brother. He ran to the house. He died in Nanny's arms when she opened the door. So I'm telling you, there's some real shit, man. If I ain't let that shit go, I won't be right here today.
Man, he like
straight up, man.
It's so crazy. Yeah, this motherfucker really dropping tears for this shit, like.
But little did Gilly and Wallo know, Lil Durk was actively embroiled in efforts to avenge his brother's passing and would leave clues in his music bragging about how he would put money out to have Dumb Street gang members killed for their role in the murder of D-Thang, and even going as far as referencing the Get Back campaign that had 2 Dumb Street gang members killed in his 2022 smash hit Pissed Me Off.
Man, what? Do this Vaughn, do this with D-Thang. Pluto, you not a fucking rocket, man, you hear me? I don't do no talking on the internet, man. You know, man, stop playing, man. Y'all just don't be hearing about that shit. There ain't nobody in me. You know, in Chicago, they got spot news, you hear me? You know, follow call that flat news on mother. Better go check that, you hear me? Now, when you go check that shit, then come holler at me. Let's get it. Man, what?
And all this would start on Sunday, June the 6th, 2021. Lil Durk's 32-year-old blood brother D-Thang was at a strip club called Club O, which is located on the 17,000 block of South Hillstead. Just after 12:20 a.m., reports state D-Thang would get into an argument with an individual named Gara Gang Denim, who pledged allegiance to a Southside gang called Dumb Street or Gara Gang, a gang D-Thang would regularly diss on social media, and claiming that his gang, Dog Pound, had been responsible for murdering all the Dumb Street members. This argument between D-Thang and Gara Gang Denim would not last for long because Gara Gang Denim would pull out his firearm and fire numerous shots at D-Thang, even hitting his head, then fleeing the scene.
Club O is quiet this evening, but police say there was a chaotic scene at the strip club early Sunday morning. Multiple shots were fired and lots of weapons were found at the scene. Police say Dante Banks was killed when he was shot in the head outside the club just after midnight. Banks is the older brother of locally known rapper Lil Durk. The 32-year-old is also a rapper who performed as D-Thang. His brother has been silent on Twitter since the shooting.
And long after D-Thang's passing, Gara Gang Denim would go on IG to post a picture of him at a club with the caption bragging about how he was trapped at the club and how he saw a man die trying to run to his car. Fans would scour his comment section asking why he killed Lil Durk's brother D-Thang, and if sneak dissing on Instagram wasn't enough, he and his gang would post a snippet to a song mocking the passing of D-Thang. But retaliation for D-Thang's passing wouldn't come immediately, as Lil Durk would rap on Smirk Carter about how D-Thang didn't have his gun on him the night he died, and how his name was embroiled in a racketeering case which may be related to how the Chicago PD and the FBI believed D-Thang and King Von solicited the murder of gangster disciple rapper FBG Duck, and had O-Block gang members like Moowop and C-Murder gun him down in the Gold Coast.
You said that OTF D-Thang paid $5,000 for FBG Duck's location?
Oh yeah, the guy sent it to his baby mama, Teasy. He sent it to his baby mama, the cash app. He sent it that he killed Duck, that he got him killed, that he sent it all to him, and he stayed out there after that, Vlad. He stayed on the scene. That's why his Duck was on the ground, man. We watching Duck fight for his life. He was in the crowd. Him and the other guy was in the crowd watching Duck fight for his life, man. They deserve to go down.
He'll also rap about the difficulty he was facing in dealing with the death of his brother on Kanye West's Jonah, and how he tried to bait his brother's killers into pulling up on him in an effort to retaliate for his murder. But then, on July the 11th, 2021, 33-year-old Jamie Hawkins and 19-year-old Jaden Anderson, both Dumb Street members, were at a gas station on the 6100 block of South Ashland Avenue when a dark vehicle pulled up beside them, and somebody from inside started unloading a barrage of shots towards the members, hitting them multiple times before fleeing the scene.
Developing tonight, a deadly double shooting at a Chicago gas station. 2 men killed in the middle of the afternoon. CBS 2's Stephen Graves is live at the 7th District Police Station in West Englewood. Stephen, the police station is less than a mile from the shooting.
Dave, that's right. Only about a 10-minute walk, and if that doesn't strike you, what will is the aftermath. What we saw at that shooting scene, at least a dozen bullet holes in one car. Screams from a loved one in anguish as she sees the evidence of this brutal double murder. We counted 14 bullet holes in this car at a West Inglewood gas station, some in the frame, most bullets fired in the passenger side window. The 20-year-old man was pronounced dead near the pump. The 33-year-old man shot in the chest died at the University of Chicago hospital. Gas station workers say the whole shooting is caught on the many surveillance cameras on the property.
And while Lil Durk's father, Big Durk, would express how much he had been avoiding dealing with the pain he was enduring after the death of his son, he would also vehemently state that there wouldn't be any form of retaliation in D-Thang's name.
It's one of those things I've never faced or accepted yet. I'm still suppressing it, I'm still moving on, keeping myself busy, keep doing the work so I don't have to really sit down and really focus upon my son and the loss that he's no longer here. So when this has happened to me, I got to show them by my own example that we ain't gonna do no revenge, ain't gonna be no retaliation.
But as soon as Jamie Hawkins and Jaden Anderson, both Gutter Gang members, had died at the gas station in Ashland, Lil Durk would tell the world about his revenge campaign against Dump Street, rapping on Fuck My Cousin with Lil Zay Osama about how he had avenged his brother by getting two men gunned down in the west side of Chicago, which referred to the death of Jaden Anderson and Jamie Hawkins. He detailed the struggles he had been facing with accepting the passing of his brother and would admit to having a hand in retaliatory efforts against Dump Street on his January 2022 smash hit Aha, and on his unreleased song titled Survivor, he'd rap about catching guys from Dump Street and gunning them down.
Brother dad, you ain't retaliate, that's why I don't really fuck with y'all. Catch a from the dump on the block, what you want to slump all y'all.
But whether you knew it or not, Lil Durk has had his hands in countless murders in Chicago's bloody gang war, and even relaying his involvement in these gang hits all over his chart-topping music, and having millions of fans rapping about how he paid money to his shooters who almost killed FBG Wooski.
Check on your mans, I heard he got hit in his head, but he almost died, so I can say his name cause he ain't dead. How you let a nigga funeral, I might just slide. Rest in peace, rest in peace, everybody that's outside. Bet Wooski feel this one, I bet Wooski still twitching. He changed something different.
Rapping about killing FBG Cash for mocking the late King Von.
Sneaking pigs back Von Road like Lil Bro won't come out and spin.
And even showing absolutely no remorse for the murder of his own blood cousin, Lil Mister.
Damn, you wanna be like my cousin. You know what I'm saying? You wanna be like Durk. If I call blood. You feel me? I hit
Whoa.
I hit him.
You said Durk your cousin?
Yeah.
And yo, homie sister. Even though that's folks' cousin, man, Lil Mister. I be for my cousin, we catch him as fuck. But the other side, he getting killed. My cousin, I told him he gotta go and get shot, he slide through the.
November the 24th, 2022. Slain drill rapper King Von looms on King Drive. That's the title for a newspaper article the Chicago Sun-Times published when the mural for the late Black disciple drill rapper King Von on a corner store's wall in front of O-Block. And as various Black disciples like Lil Durk, Muwab, and Boss Top had taken pictures in front of the mural as a sign of respect to honor their late friend Davon Bennett, the mural also became a tourist attraction of sorts, with fans who loved King Von and his music would post up in front of 64th and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive and pose for a picture with King Von's mural looming behind them.
Stop playing B-roll. No, we do this for you. So O-Block for life. How you coming? Just came in this bill. I know we got. Oh yeah, who that is right now? You know who that is right now. Go ahead, pose.
All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
But while the mural was meant to forever immortalize the legacy of Chicago's most influential drill rapper in the past decade, it may have brought unwanted attention from King Von's most formidable ops.
We into it till you die, real street. At your funeral, I might just slide. Rest in peace. Shoot up everybody that's outside. When we feel this one, I know Wooski still twitching. He changed something different.
Because in late February 2022, FBG Cash would take to Instagram and post a picture of him flashing the middle finger while posing in front of King Von's mural on 64th and King Drive, with the caption detailing how the whole world had seen Durk's top hitter get gunned down on camera. And on February the 24th, 2022, he'd drop his response to King Von, Prince Dre, and Lil Durk's scathing diss track Back Again, titled Back Again 2 times. He'd open his verse by dissing Lil Vernie the Muscle and suggesting that he got shot, lost his ability to walk, and how therapy wasn't doing him any good. He mentions his reluctance to go to Club O anymore because people were getting shot and left at the door, a clear reference to Lil Durk's brother OTFD Thing, who died while at the club. And he'd end the song off by claiming Lil Durk's own gang were extorting him of $1 million. Then, on April the 5th, 2022, his interview on No Jumper with Adam22 would be uploaded to YouTube, where he told Adam how he had been having a back and forth with Lil Durk and how he drove to 64th and King Drive, posed for a picture in front of Von's mural, all in an effort to show Lil Durk and the Black Disciples the disrespectful lengths he was willing to go to diss his ops.
Okay, so why'd you take that picture with the King Von mural?
Durk told me to.
How did he tell you to?
He through text. Now he blocked me now, but yeah, through text.
What was the?
We was talking
what
like
kind of
that.
conversation were you having before he told you to go take this photo?
Me, him, go over there and do that, see what happened to you. I'm like, I'm outside right now.
And while he'd continue garnering traction through his music, back in Atlanta, Lil Durk would fire shots towards FBG Cash on computer murderers, rapping about how Cash wouldn't get away with sneaking pictures in front of Von's mural and how he'd have his shooters come and gun him down. And whether Cash thought him and Lil Durk were now embroiled in a rap beef rather than a violent gang war, we may never know. But in late May 2022, FBG Cash would find himself parked in front of a woman's house in Chicago, and he would tell Drea O about an incident where a woman's boyfriend would pull up on him and unload various shots towards his car where he suffered wounds from the bullet fragments in this incident. But he would be fortunate enough to escape with his life.
I feel like he would want you guys to know. Listen to FBG Cash in his own words tell you what was going on in his life a few weeks before he passed.
Yeah, I know. I think it was her because like I was at her crib at like 4:20 in the morning. I just left rap a lot, so I was sitting at her crib. Yeah, a guy kept on calling her phone. Calling. She was like, "Oh my God, he steady calling." I'm like, "Who?" She was like, "My boyfriend." She was like, "I hope he don't come over here." See, when you got keys to your crib or something? She was like, "Yeah." Have you seen? Yeah, I forgot I gave him keys. Boom. He boom. So I'm like. But I never got back up. I was just like, cause I thought she was so I was trying to push that out the car. Yeah. Like, boom, 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 boom. I'm trying to push that out cause I thought she got shot. But I was like, when I see she was like, whoa. I'm like, drive.
And after escaping with his life in this particular incident, you would think FBG Cash would refrain from letting his guard down when he's with women in Chicago. But a couple of weeks later, he'd find himself parked in the 16,000 block of West 81st Street at 5:30 a.m. with a woman in the passenger seat. This is a 10-minute drive from where Jaden Anderson and Jamie Hawkins, the two Dump Street members, had lost their lives as retaliation for D-Thang slaying. And while in that vehicle, a 4-door black sedan would pull up and two men would exit the car and would unload a barrage of shots towards him, hitting him a total of 13 times in his torso, wounding the woman in the process, then fleeing the scene.
It was around 4 a.m. in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood 1600 block of 81st Street, where we are right now, when two gunmen hopped out of a black sedan and shot FBG Cash 13 times in the body. Another woman that was also in the car with him was wounded as well.
Videos from residents in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood would show a lifeless FBG Cash unresponsive and laid down under a tree, surrounded by police officers. And while the police were in a frenzy, trying to gather information on who may have been responsible for Cash's murder, Lil Durk in Atlanta would be leaving bites and crumbs in his music, possibly alluding to his involvement in Cash's death. And while filming the music video to Risky, a song of his 7220 Deluxe album, he'd go on Instagram Live alongside OTF Booney Mo and would start rapping about leaving someone stretched out under a tree.
You ain't have your gun for them, you better have your gun for me. Better have your gun for Booney. Better have your gun for C. You don't believe me, you gonna see. You gonna end up by that tree.
Know that we did it.
And I got my gun for Boone, they call him Chief. Man, we should have killed him soon, cause he a thief.
This would later morph into threats to everybody, which dropped in December of that year. And on thought, he'd fleetingly reference Cash's death, rapping about how he died in front of his girl and she couldn't save him. May the 2nd, 2021. This is Kwando Rondo's first show following King Von's demise in November the previous year. He's performing in Georgia in front of a small crowd, accompanied by his entourage on stage. And at 2:20 a.m., Kwando and his entourage are at a convenience store in Blackshire. Shortly after, a car pulls up and unloads multiple shots towards Kwando and his crew. One man was hit in the arm and received medical attention shortly after. While investigators arrived at the scene to take statements of any sort, Kwando Rondo had already left. Now 2 months after this incident, he's on Clubhouse, talking recklessly alongside his cousin Lil Pub in regards to the shooting on May the 2nd to none other than OTF's very own Lil Vernie.
Lil Vernie, what's up, man?
What's the word, 6-0?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, baby. How the f you niggas miss a whole lot of shit? I ain't gonna lie, this
I ain't gonna lie, boy, they ain't got no money. I know Dawg said go get the money, but I know they ain't got no money that night. Hell nah.
They would go on and troll Lil Vernie on how he has missing teeth.
That Lil Vernie got a missing teeth though.
Yeah, I got shot in my mouth.
Wow, what you say, Bob?
Swear to God.
Yeah, I do. I got shot in my mouth.
You did? You got what?
I got shot in my mouth.
I'm saying, though, I wish that nigga ain't miss your mouth.
Yeah, he shouldn't have.
One thing about us, though, we don't do no missing.
Kwando would continue antagonizing Lil Vernie while dissing King Von.
Hey, Lil Vernie.
What's the word, 6-0?
I'm about to go to my partner house, and after that, I'm going to go to my other partner house. After that, I'm going to call my other partner, and then my other partner and shit like that. You know, all us could still pick up the phone.
You petty as hell.
You know how that go.
I know how a lot of go.
And that's the fact them niggas mad because the main's
gone. And that's the fact they mad because they main's gone.
August the 19th, 2022. Kwando Rondo is in West Hollywood with his cousin Lil Pub. This is a week before Pub was scheduled to appear in front of the Chatham County Supreme Court for RICO charges from October 2019, and is also planning on pleading guilty on attempting to flee the police. So, this could be the last quality time Kwando could spend with his cousin Lil Pub before he does time. While they are in LA, the previous night back in Georgia, the Savannah Police Department would receive a call of shots fired on West 38th Street with Phoenix Fendi Odom, a member of Kwando's gang, Only the Mob, had been gunned down.
Right now, a man dead and police are scrambling to figure out who killed him. Here's a look at the crime scene on the west side of Savannah, where you can see investigators gathering evidence for hours overnight.
And 12 hours later, Kwando Rondo and Lil Pub stopped by a gas station on Beverly Grove. Shortly after, a white sedan and 4 men rolls up. 3 men jump out and start unloading a barrage of bullets towards Kwando Rondo, who allegedly was the intended target. But Lil Pub was hit instead and would unfortunately pass away at the hospital.
That second person, not the rapper, but the second person who was hit by gunfire, dies from the gunfire. Let's get right into it. Mike, you'll give you a look. The gas station here, this is right across the street from the busy Beverly Center on La Cienega. See all that broken glass there? That's where the Escalators park. They're getting gas when all of a sudden the windows are blown out by gunfire. They're under attack by bullets flying all over the place. To the left, Mike, you'll give you a look. See all those white evidence markers on the ground? Each one of those is by a shell casing. Gives you an idea how many rounds are fired.
After being the butt of the joke in the clubhouse conversation, Lil Vernie would take to Instagram and post a message of encouragement, telling Kwando to keep his head up. 5 months following the murder of Lil Pub, Kwando would memorialize his fallen partner on his song Long Live Pub. This comes on the back of him denouncing his Crip affiliation because he believes somebody from Crenshaw might have been responsible for Pub's death.
California got real killers. I hate when niggas say Cali weird.
Arguably their most notorious member being Brick Baby, who somehow has a direct link to Chicago's very own Durk Banks. And on April the 14th, he would drop the music video to his single Not Enough, and he raps. And if you remember, Kwando had been alluding to having $1 million bounty on his head. But before Lil Durk went mainstream, surpassed all the other rappers he came up with in Chicago and moved to Atlanta, he had a handful number of rappers who were looking to end his rap career and even his life. And amongst all the gangster disciples in the city who had an agenda against Durk Banks, like his cousin Lil Mister.
You wanna be like my cousin, you know what I'm saying? You wanna be like Durk. If I call blood, if I hit
Whoa.
I hit him.
You said Durk your cousin?
Yeah.
And your homie sister, even though that's folks' cousin, man, that little miss.
and FBG Duck. His more formidable opponents were Brick Squad rapper Lil Jojo and 051 Young Money rapper Lil Mark. But little did both rappers know, Lil Durk would be the one who would have the last laugh, as the Chicago PD alleged that the car used in Lil Jojo's murder may have been Lil Durk's vehicle, and he'd also be seen mocking Lil Mark's death at the bus stop where he got gunned down, which happened to be a mere 2 days after dropping his Lil Durk diss, No Competition.
Stop, man. Hey, this bus stop right here, though. This a real famous place, yeah. This a real famous place, B. Hey, this bus stop is a real famous place, B. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Now, on March the 28th, 2022, a vibrant and ambitious 20-year-old Lil Durk would drop L's Anthem, believed to be one of Chicago's most scathing diss tracks of the 2010s. L Anthem was so huge, residents couldn't turn on the radio without hearing Lil Durk giving props to his OTF 300 gang and dissing his cousin Lil Mister's gang Wooga and Lil Jojo's gang Brick Squad.
He didn't really want to rap until he heard Lil Durk's song, that L's Anthem. Cause we heard it on the radio, like we driving, you know. It was me and him, I remember we driving, boom. He said, Brick Squad, we say f them. Like this on the radio, fool, you know what I'm saying? You talking about us on the radio. Man, he went crazy, fool, he ain't like.
And as L's Anthem continued to garner traction, Lil Mister and Lil Jojo would be forced to respond to Lil Durk's diss. Lil Durk's cousin Lil Mister would drop his response to L's Anthem titled Like He On Something on May the 14th of that year, and would name drop Lil Durk in his first verse, warning him that he wasn't ready to go to war with Wooga. And on April the 28th, Lil Jojo would drop 300K using the same beat Young Chop had made for Chief Keef's Everyday. 300K was a diss song aimed at everyone rapping 300 from Lil Durk, Lil Reese, and Sosa. And if that wasn't enough, he'd also dub himself and his Brick Squad set as BDK, essentially declaring war on anybody in the city who claimed to be a member of the Black Disciples.
What happened when that song dropped?
It was going crazy. Everybody who's BDK was coming out the woodworks, like, we BDK too, you know? Like the city was just dividing. Fast too, bro.
The music video for 300K would quickly shoot up to 15 million views on YouTube, essentially putting a target on Lil Jojo's back. And the BDs were looking to end Joseph Coleman before it was too late.
What was the O Block reaction to that song? What like the initial reaction was he feeling.
And as the success of 300K rapidly grew, Lil Jojo's actions would get a lot more reckless, from threatening a Chief Keef lookalike in his music video for Tied Up, to posting up on Dog Pound's block, a BD set rapped by Lil Durk's brother, D-Thang.
Yeah, say first on Dog Pound, BDK, Brick Squad,
As all of this attention came Lil Jojo's way, he couldn't help but feel like death was creeping up on him, as now leaked text messages show Lil Jojo pleading to meet up with a girl before the streets could have a chance to take away his life, as it had already taken so many of his friends away from him. And on September the 4th, 2012, after catching Lil Reese hanging out on his block and exchanging disses from the backseat of a car, at 5:02 p.m, Lil Jojo and Swag De Niro would take to Twitter to clown Lil Reese, and an hour later, he would post this now infamous tweet exposing his whereabouts for everybody to see. And shortly after 7 p.m, Lil Jojo is seen on surveillance footage sitting on the handlebars of a bicycle, constantly looking back. That's when 3 cars came speeding down on Princeton Avenue. A grey Ford Taurus, a car allegedly owned by Lil Durk, rolls down the window, lets off 6 shots towards Lil Jojo, with one hitting his right flank. He would succumb to his injuries 2 hours later and pass away at a hospital.
Doctor come out, he like, man, mother and brother. Like, it was real like the movies, you know what I'm saying? Like, he took me to the room, he said he got back once. He got one time, fool. And that from his back, from far away. And it went through both sides of his heart. It don't make no sense to me.
The man who was riding the bicycle would be seen fleeing the scene westbound as all 3 cars drove away east. And as news of Lil Jojo's demise spread throughout Chicago, every single BD would take a second to celebrate Lil Jojo's tragic demise, from Chief Keef, G Herbo,
Yeah, man, my nigga Moody gonna be Lil Jojo for Halloween. I get on the Jojo deal? Hey, who's gonna be for Halloween this year? Jojo? Can I get on?
and future drill superstar King Von.
You know, me and King Von don't know how Jojo. We don't know how Jojo shit today. Stretch gang out.
And as time went on, Lil Jojo's mother would make an appearance on the news alongside Swag De Niro, demanding justice for her son and naming Chief Keef as the alleged perpetrator in her son's passing.
Who do you think is responsible for your son's?
Chief Keef.
You believe he himself pulled the trigger?
I don't believe himself pulled the trigger. I believe he paid somebody to do it.
But while Sosa denied having a hand in Jojo's passing, one man from O Block was taking all the responsibility for Jojo's hit, even tattooing Jojo K on his upper chest. His name was Ray Rilla.
They talking about some get Ray Rilla alive. What, that's Ocho? They said get Ray Rilla alive. Ray Rilla, they want you alive.
I spank whatever, however you want it. O Block Ray Rilla. O Block Ray Rilla, aka JoJo K. Look it up, you can find it. Ain't hard on day. Picture of JoJo on the cover. Picture of Coleman on the cover.
Whether Ray Rilla was responsible or not is entirely speculation, but Swag Dinero would post on Twitter in the following months claiming that the man responsible for ending Jojo's life had passed away. The man was a member of 600 called Kiki. On May the 16th, 2012, Lil Mr. would drop the music video to Like He On Something, and in the song, he has a few words directed to his cousin, Lil Durk.
Lil Durk, don't diss again, or you a boy. I'ma keep this shit 100, you ain't with the shit, boy.
Durk would respond by tweeting to Lil Mr, telling him he plays for keeps. But besides his cousin, Lil Mr also had an agenda with someone closely linked to Lil Durk's OTF crew, Mimo 600.
Lil Mr, check it out!
As rumor has it, Lil Mr and Wooga World affiliates got into a high-speed car chase with Mimo 600, where he crashed his car and then fled the scene on foot, an incident he and Lil Mr would allude to on Instagram Live.
What's going on, man? Y'all tell Mimo, man, go get his car back, man. Man, he looking too BD'd out here, you know? Right? You know? Hey, Mimo, you faster than a motherfucker, man. Joseph Colvin. Yo, fast, boy.
He said I ran from Lil Mr. Hell yeah, I ran. They was 4 deep in the car. You know how you try to hit a corner too fast? I hit the corner too fast. On Lustig, I hit somebody's whole house, the front porch.
And on March the 15th, 2019, with a rap career that was slowing down, Lil Mr was on the 7400 block of South Harvard Avenue, and at 7:15 p.m., a black vehicle drove by and a man inside rolled down the window and let off multiple shots towards Lil Mr, where he was hit and would later succumb to his injuries at the University of Chicago Medical Center. Mimo 600 would go on IG Live following the news of Lil Mr's passing, blasting Lil Durk's Sharek Harmony in the background as fans would flood the comments asking why Mimo 600 ended Lil Mr's life.
Man, I fell down to my knees when the law came. And I can't go like me in the hallway. I'd rather go out just like we gon' stick them off.
R.I.P. Lil Mr. He died on that corner. He died in the hood where like he wasn't supposed to be in because that was famous as and nobody took him out. It's a lot of famous and they don't get took out and then they get took out.
And on Lil Zay Osama's My Cousin, Lil Durk would reference Lil Mr's passing, rapping.
My cousin, I told him he gotta go and get shit, slide through the night.
King Von would also participate in dissing Lil Mr as he posthumously rapped.
Yo, homie sister, even though that's folks' cousin, man, Lil Mr.
And while J Hood has claimed that King Von was responsible for Lil Mr's passing,
say Von said his homie think he killed his cousin. Von did kill Durk cousin.
there hasn't been any convictions in this case. On March the 25th, 2014, 051 Young Money rapper Lil Mark would drop No Competition, a bold response to Lil Durk's track Competition with Lil Reese, where Lil Mark takes shots at deceased 300 members, including Wick City's O.D. Perry, 600's D Thang, not to be confused with Lil Durk's brother D Thang from Dog Pound, O Block's J Money, and stating that he's been drilling for 10 years. Nonetheless, Lil Mark would end the song off by dubbing himself as 300K, a gesture Lil Durk had warned against on This Ain't What You Want. And he'd have an ominous back and forth with Lil Reese.
What y'all on?
On fast, boy. I been out here. I stay out here, boy.
And literally 3 days after Lil Mark dropped No Competition, on March the 28th, 3 days before his 21st birthday, Lil Mark was standing at a bus stop on East 51st Street where a vehicle would pull up, a man jumps out and unloads multiple shots, hitting Lil Mark's head and flees the scene.
Lil Mark talking to Lil Reese on FaceTime, and then the clip ends up being on the diss video. But now let's just address the obvious. You can't be beefing in Chicago and have a bus pass. You gotta have a gang carpool or something. You gotta have a courtesy bulletproof gang whip.
And minutes after the hit, 300 affiliates like THF Twiller, D-Rose, and King Von would drive to the scene, seemingly mocking Lil Mark's passing and using this moment to taunt the wise over on 051.
It's a 2-51st. Body down. Body down. 51st. Gang.
And days later, Def Jam signee Lil Durk would make his way to Lil Mark's crime scene to do some more taunting of his own.
Bus stop, man. Hey, this bus stop right here, though. This a real famous place. Yeah, this is a real famous place, big. Hey, this bus stop, this is a real famous place, big. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fucking rock.